The most damaging people in your life will never be obvious about it. They won't scream. They won't threaten. They won't do anything that looks clearly wrong to an outside observer. In fact, if you tried to explain to someone else what they do, it would sound almost too small to matter. And that's exactly what makes quiet toxicity so dangerous. By the time you realize what's happening, the damage is already done. These people are masters of plausible deniability. Every harmful thing they do comes with a built-in excuse. They were just joking. They were just being honest. They were just trying to help. And because each individual incident seems minor, you spend months or years confused about why you consistently feel worse after spending time with them. The first sign is that you always leave interactions feeling slightly drained. Not from one big argument, not from one obvious comment, just a general heaviness that follows every conversation. Your energy is lower after being around them than before. This is not a coincidence. Quietly toxic people pull emotional resources from others without ever depositing anything back. The second sign is subtle put-downs disguised as humor. They say something that stings, and the moment you react, it becomes just a joke, or you're so sensitive. This technique is deliberate whether they realize it or not. It allows them to deliver a wound and then make you feel irrational for feeling it. Over time, you start second-guessing your own reactions, which is exactly the outcome they need. The third sign is that they celebrate your struggles more than your wins. When something goes wrong for you, they're fully present, full of sympathy and attention. But when something goes right, the response is flat. Maybe a quick "that's great" before the subject changes back to them. Quietly toxic people are most comfortable around a version of you that needs them. Your success quietly threatens that dynamic. The fourth sign is that they create dependency without you noticing. They position themselves as the one person who truly understands you, the only one you can really trust, while simultaneously making small comments that distance you from other people in your life. It happens gradually. And then, one day you look around and realize this one person has somehow become your primary source of support, which was never an accident. The fifth sign is weaponized vulnerability. They share personal things with you to build closeness and trust, but later, in the wrong moment, those same personal details resurface as ammunition. Not always aggressively, sometimes as a concern, sometimes buried inside a joke. But the information you shared in a safe moment gets used in an unsafe one, and your instinct to trust them quietly shrinks without you fully understanding why. The sixth sign is that they rewrite history. After a conflict or a painful incident, their memory of events is remarkably different from yours. What you experienced as hurtful, they remember as reasonable. What you said clearly, they heard completely differently. This isn't always a lie. But the consistent pattern of their version always making them the reasonable party and you the difficult one is not a coincidence. It's a pattern that protects them and destabilizes you. The seventh sign is that apologizing to them never actually resolves anything. You say sorry, they accept it, and then somehow the original issue resurfaces in the next argument, or the one after that. Because a quietly toxic person doesn't want resolution. Resolution ends the leverage. The unresolved grievance is more useful to them than the apology ever was. Here's the truth that makes all 7 of these signs connect. Quiet toxicity is not usually a conscious strategy. Most people doing these things don't think of themselves as toxic at all. They think they're responding, protecting themselves, being honest, which means recognizing this in someone else requires a level of emotional clarity that most people are still developing. And that's the part worth sitting with. Because the real question isn't just who in your life fits this pattern. It's this: in the moments when you feel most defensive or most hurt, which of these 7 behaviors might you be capable of yourself?